All right, well, welcome to the 2021 Heart of America Athletic Conference Football Media Day. We're pleased to be here with Central Methodist head coach David Calloway. Coach, how are you today?
I'm all right. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Well, we're getting ready for 2021. You've got quite a few games in last year, but obviously you're ready to get kicked off with a regular fall season, hopefully. How excited is your team to heading into this next year?
Just like everybody else in the country, just the opportunity to get back into the fall for football season. Obviously, we first come on campus, everybody's excited, seeing each other, been away for the summer. So that's always, those first couple of days are always good, but we'll get into the dog days of camp here in about practice 4 or 5, and then we'll see where we at. And things will start separating as far as the hierarchy on the team.
Kevin, go ahead if you have some questions for Coach.
I'm trying to find my questions. I've for some reason my technology is not agreeing with me.
That's okay. I'll go ahead. So, Coach,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, you've had a good progression here with your program.
Let the guys go outside. Let them guys go outside.
Coach, you've had some great progression with your team. Last couple of years with some big victories and things like that. How pleased are you with the way your team has progressed the last couple of seasons?
Well, I feel good about our trajectory. A couple of 5-win seasons feel pretty good, but we're still trying to round the corner to be competitive with the top half of the conference. It's when I got the appointment to come to Central Methodist, one of the things that intrigued me was the competitiveness in the conference with all the schools, with Grandview, Benedictine, Baker, Missouri Valley, William Penn. Every week, it's going to be great competition. And I've been to some places where it's been 1 or 2 teams to beat. You got to come with your hard hat every week in the Heart of America. So that's really the competition that I feel that's unique for this conference. I turned to coach in the GPAC, in the NIAC a couple of times. So it was only just 1 or 2 teams, but from top to bottom, man, this thing is stacked. So I feel our program, having to scratch and fight to get where we are, to get a couple of 500 seasons in, we feel pretty good about the direction we're going. We feel we have the culture turning in the right direction to continue to step on the field with Baker and Benedictine and continue to close that gap. And we look forward to the challenges again in 2021.
Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
Can you tell me who you expect to jump out there as far as leadership goes? Anybody in particular that you're looking to, or that you feel just might step up and become a leader?
Well, not from an individual standpoint. We talk more about self-accountability and self-leadership first, working on self, doing those things, and try to bring guys together collectively. We don't have, what I feel good about, we don't have just a one-voice team, because I feel, if you got one-voice guys and that guy goes down, then who's ready to be the leader? You know what I mean? So everybody has to lead, everybody has to pull their weight. Now we do have one speaker, that's me. What I say is what we convey as a team. You got one coming from, but as far as leadership, guys got to work together. That's the beauty I think about the game of football, is that every play, 11 guys got to be working together to get a successful snap. And it's, you got a lot of guys talking about leadership, this, that, and the third. Football, it's the only sport you do most of your training to play the least amount of time. You train year-round, and a play gonna last at the most 6 seconds. Even the greatest play is gonna last 8. So you spend more time standing than watching. So we don't want a bunch of guys that want to be cheerleaders and yell and rah-rah. I need action-driven guys, goal-oriented driven guys. And like I said, we don't have anybody that just sticks out and say, oh, this guy is going to be the leader of our team. Because leadership to me comes with production, because we got guys, I was telling this morning, we got guys that's telling everybody what to do, and we're in helmets and hadn't played a meaningful snap in our program. You're not leading nobody, just like you can tell somebody how to line up in a drill if you've not been on the field. So I try to not tend to put a lot of pressure on guys being leaders in that form. Excuse me.
Rachel, do you have a question you want to ask?
No.
Kevin, go ahead. Did you have another one?
I did. I was just going to
Great.
ask if there's any changes in the coaching staff, anything along those lines.
Yes,
Anybody-
being a small school, I feel if you're doing a good job, you should have coaches move on. We had Coach Black, LaQuinn Black, he had been with me for the last 4 years. He's had an opportunity, he moved on to Troy University in the spring. I promoted Brandon Klein, who was a defensive GA for us, to his position. And I was fortunate enough to hire Tyler Davis, who's a GA for me also as our receiver coach. So, that's part of the success at a small school. You get guys that move on, and if they're doing a good job, that's what I expect them to do.
Sure. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, Coach. One of my big questions, it kind of links to, one of your early answers. 2020, obviously it was a crazy year with COVID, and you guys still came out and managed to play pretty well, but there were still a couple of games that were lost just because of the COVID situation, not being able to play those. With that and kind of seeing what might have been, what are some things that you can take from last season and some of the potential that you guys had, but weren't able to fully see and take into 2021?
Well, the biggest thing that I took out that I found out about our guys that I kind of knew, but wasn't for sure, that accountability is real important to them, because we was one of only a couple of teams in the heart to be able to play all 9 games without, losing people to a lot of quarantine. So they did their part for us, getting tested, wearing their mask, maintaining, being in a position to stay healthy and be on the football field. So that showed me that we have guys, sometimes, they're not focused and continue to be consistent on their accountability, but they do have the DNA to have accountability traits in them all the time. The main thing I found out about the COVID situation, to be honest with you, is that as a football coach, we don't need as much time in football as we thought on the field, in meetings and things of that nature. It's not what we thought it was as far as the preparation, because you can still get things done if you're organized, you're detailed, and you're effective on how you structure with your time management. So that was the biggest thing that I took away from it, that you don't need to have kids beat down, because we want guys fresh on Saturday. And I think the COVID showed us how to adjust our practices to get that done.
And then last one for me, Coach, what are some of your overall goals that you want to see from your guys, not only on the field, records and, statistics, but what are some of those big goals that you want to see from your guys from an individual standpoint, and then also as a collective whole?
Well, we talk to our guys a lot about success is a choice. What I mean by that is you can choose to be successful, how you carry yourself from accountability, dependability, and how you conduct yourself from an energy and effort standpoint into when you do things. And if you're passionate about those 4 things, you can be successful. Success is a choice, just like failure. You choose to go to class or you decide not to go to class. The biggest thing that we're talking about, that I'm trying to push to our guys, is about focus. And I got this with Karen Lawson, women's basketball coach at Duke. And she talked to her girls about focus being a separator between explanation and application, as far as me telling you what to do and then you actually using that and applying it to do what we discussed. And I took it as the bridge also between success and failure, because if you focus on what you're doing, you're paying attention to detail, it gives you the best opportunity to be successful, right? So what I want our guys to understand, focus is the biggest part that you're going to have to deal with in life if you want to be successful. It's always going to be challenges. It's always things that's not going to go your way. But if you stay focused on to try to get to the end goal and be successful, you're going to be where you want to be in life, because it's a choice. Everybody's going to have obstacles. Everybody's going to have not the hand that they feel they should have, but you got to be able to deal with it, and you can find a way. So that's the biggest thing that I want from our guys when they leave our program, is understand that you can be successful in whatever you want to do. As far as on the football field, we just want to win games. Like I told our guys the other night, I don't care if it's 222 to 221, if we got 222. If it's 2-0. Now, if it's 2-0 offense, we're going to have an issue. If it's 222 to 221 defense, we're going to have an issue. But ultimately, we just want to win football games.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
And Coach, for those, you know, that may be watching this from around the heart or the NEI that maybe not familiar with Central Methodist or even the Fayette area, but, you know, Central Methodist has a lot of success the last few years with multiple sports, national championships, and your program's progressing. You know, what is it that's so special about Central Methodist and the Fayette community that's really been put together this success?
Well, I think it's, for me personally, it starts at the top with our president, Dr. Dre. You know, he's made a serious commitment to getting athletics at the top half of NEIA in all sports. You know, we've added wrestling, both men and women's. Our women's soccer team is a fairly new program, you know, hadn't been around a long time. So by him making a commitment to athletics is the first thing. And then the coaches that are around here, you know, Coach Davis has been a winning basketball coach at NEI for a number of years. Coach Sherman in basketball, Coach Reardon in softball. They did Coach Brearley. Coach Brearley, me and him kind of started at the same time. You know, he got his program moving in the right direction. So it's the coaching staff with the leadership of Dr. Drake that has us trying to stay in the top half. You know, and you look at other schools in our conference, like Grandview. I mean, they're competitive in a lot of sports. You know, I looked at the Hart Summit. I didn't even realize Grandview had men's volleyball until they put that banner up there. You know, so I feel just Dr. Drake wanted us to be competitive, wants to be at the top, and everything is. I guess when the leader is saying, "Hey, we're gonna be competitive and we're gonna win and we're gonna do what we can to do," you got no choice but to be on board, or you need to move around.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, Rachel, anything else?
I've got nothing else.
Okay. Well, Kevin, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Rachel, thank you for all you do for CMU. And Coach Calloway, can't thank you enough for your time, and we wish you best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, TP.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.